Working Legs Drew is back. I'm standing for the first time in a really long time. Let's see if I can make it through this entire video. So what if the Earth was a giant jungle? What if every single tile was filled with trees, basically? I mean, you can't really tell in this map mode, it just looks green, but trust me, it's gonna be crazy. It's especially weird looking at the Sahara Desert. Like, this doesn't look right. It's almost like prehistoric. Like, I feel like dinosaurs are gonna pop out or something. Same thing with the Middle East and everywhere, basically. I believe all tiles have forests. You can't really tell. Like, there are some weird glitches places, but trust me, it's a forest. Well, it could be a jungle too, I forgot to mention, or marshes. I decided to keep marshes and obviously mountains. That's gonna be kind of a big deal. But it's gonna be interesting to see which humans decide to just cut all this stuff down or which ones leave it. Like, by the end of this video, this universe is gonna look kind of weird. And just for the memes, yes, the South Pole is green as well, so I guess this is gonna be pretty valuable if you think about it. A lot more valuable than in the normal game, at least. I didn't even know this, but it's actually more difficult for my computer to run this than other games because I guess they have to add in that extra layer of trees and leaves and lush stuff. So yeah, you might see some weird frame rates from me. You can barely even see the human beings on this map. They're like being engulfed. So the Civs are gonna have an interesting task here. You gotta cut some of it down, but how much? For some reason, there's just a ton of cattle in modern day Russia. Look at all this. This is crazy. So it is like Jurassic Park, except with cows. Get just the cows instead. And finally, the world is perfectly balanced. Greenland. Thank you. It's about time you actually live up to your name. So North America is gonna be really packed once again, and I can only imagine how crazy it's gonna be on this map because warriors and scouts can only move like one tile per turn. Like, this is gonna be rough terrain to get through. You're not gonna get any visibility. People probably won't even find each other for hundreds of years. I'll definitely check out a couple civilizations' visibility just to kind of get an idea of that, especially the wars. I know personally in my games, I love fighting in like this terrain because you never know how big of an army is gonna pop up out of nowhere. I think there's a couple civs that have a big bonus in either like forests or jungles. I can't remember exactly who it is. I guess that'll be a surprise, whoever wins this. Yeah, then we'll figure it out. Looks like Molly's gonna be trapped on the former desert continent. Australia is actually looking still pretty terrifying. I bet you they still have all those like terrifying creatures in there. You just can't see them yet. Oh, the emus are gonna have cover now. Oh, these humans have no chance. I'm gonna expect we're gonna see some of the biggest populations ever from all over the place, just because there's a lot of food on this map. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought. After 10 turns, this is all Greece seas. 10 turns with multiple scouts. Everyone's playing on DD, so they should have been able to find a lot more. At least they found one neighbor. But they're in North America too, so they need a lot more. This is what I'm talking about. Everyone's gonna have to deal with this. It's gonna be excruciatingly painful to explore because it's just so slow. One tile per turn. It's gonna take a while before these people figure out the world's flat because, you know, we're playing a Civ game. People are already slapping down their second cities, except for America. They have a little bit longer to go in Germany. Oh, Germany's not too far away. They're in Italy. Won't be easy. Africa's pretty packed in as well. This is a pretty giant continent. Oh, and South Africa's actually gonna have like some competition. So this is what I like about it. Usually the Civ that starts here gets like a pretty huge advantage because no one else is around. Oh, there's a nice little tornado. Okay, there's our first natural disaster. Not too bad. That'd be a little bit more interesting. Shouldn't trees be flying up in the air and thrown at people? That's terrifying. Oh, I thought you were gonna hit these. Oh, you are. A little bit. Oh, they're fine. Jungle tornadoes do sound like awful, honestly. It like snakes, shark, snake-nado. This part of the map usually does pretty well for the Civ that starts here, but Mastodon has a fairly close neighbor, which I think they started, yeah, in like Colombia, Venezuela. Arabia's gonna give them some trouble. India took a city. Did they take a city right now? Are they surrounded? Or are they about to get a city taken? Oh yeah, these war cards are pretty tough. They gonna get that. The rebellions are already starting up, and besides that, I don't think anyone else is really chopping down things. I mean, still pretty early in the game. Oh, New York almost lost. I mean, it almost got taken, is what I mean. Australia's probably gonna be pretty annoying for them as well, since this is already packed enough. They should probably move up towards Sweden, Norway, that would help. France is all alone in modern day Turkey, and they still haven't settled a second city, weirdly, unless maybe they're trying to travel far away, get like a really great spot. Although, like, how many great spots are there? There's gotta be plenty of great spots out here. The Khmer are going after Korea in former Himalayas. I don't know what happened to the Himalayas in this world. I'm not gonna, yeah, we're just gonna ignore that. I'd imagine that if anyone's really affected by this, it's definitely gotta be the Mongolians. Like, their hordes are totally not used to not being able to move. They like wide open plains. So far in North America, we have Persia and like mostly Eastern Canada. The Ottomans trying their best right here in the middle of the US, although there are some rebellions. Romans are doing okay here in like kind of the deep south. They need more of the deep south. I mean, there's just so much going on. It's hard to keep up. The Phoenicians are barely alive. I didn't even realize the Phoenicians were here. Also not used to this color scheme. But yeah, being right next to Scythia, not gonna be fun. Macedon trying their best with 4 cities, and they might be taking Mecca soon. Wait, how is that? Oh, no, I don't think so. I think they're gonna hold onto it just barely. Mega's obviously gonna be a really important city because it's basically gonna act as the Panama Canal. So this is actually kind of a big deal. Oh, I don't know if they're gonna take it. You also might start to notice a couple tiles being chopped down. Like, specifically, like here, look at all this. They got rid of, well, it's kind of hard to tell because sometimes it can still be a forest, but yeah, they only have a couple trees, so it's hard to see that sort of thing. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about the Maui. All right, so they are gonna be kind of, well, they start next to the coast. They don't really have a whole lot of places they can grab up. I mean, besides Indonesia, if they want hurricanes on their hands, that'd be fun. But they're not really out here exploring too much. I mean, they're getting to the Arabian Peninsula and the subcontinent of India. This might be their worst game yet. And usually that Civ does really well. Oh, you know the Aztecs are right at home. These Eagle Warriors are gonna mess things up. You know, Korea should probably just give up. You guys don't have much of a chance. Germany's over here trying in Italy. Just stay away from the African front and you guys will be okay. You did lose a city though, but you gained one. You did take New York, so giving America a little bit of trouble. Egypt has taken almost all the British Isles, but not fully. This is not good. Russia grabbed stuff because Russia does what they do and they just grab all the land. I really wanted to call this like a Jurassic World, but there are no dinosaurs. I'd assume there would be dinosaurs though at some point, like a lot. Maybe there's gonna be also a lot of oil on the map. I mean, there's definitely a couple tiles here in the Mediterranean, at least 5. That's pretty good. Oh, and 6. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, so this is probably not a conversation you should be having with me, but because there's so much oxygen being created right now in the world, isn't oxygen, CO2 levels would be, I don't know, but wouldn't humans be massive? Wouldn't they be like, because that's why dinosaurs were so big? I guess this might be the only time ever where Civ 6's scale is correct. Humans would be massive, like standing over the trees. And same for their cities. So yeah, wow. I'm doing some mental gymnastics, but that works. It's been 50 turns and Mongolia only sees this. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. I mean, this mountain range is tough, and this, you know, they're surrounded by neighbors, but that's still pretty bad. Like, they've given up. They're not gonna explore. They can't do it. It's too slow. I guess I didn't mention this, but obviously, just like normal, we are starting with all civs, so I think there's 46 on this map, but a lot have been destroyed already. So, Greece is gone. Ottomans took them over. Something about Rome and America really feels good. Like, oh man, this is great. Hopefully they can survive though. They are not gonna have an easy game with these neighbors. You guys ever hear that theory that there were like possibly millions of people living inside the Amazon rainforest and then they all like died to disease or whatever that is? But maybe this is kind of like that. This is exploring that idea, I guess. Lost City of Z, something like that. Scotland pretty much has full control over Iberia, and now they're reaching over and doing the Spain strategy, grabbing, I guess this is Morocco, but your ultimate rival England is here, and they're gonna do their thing, probably. We'll see if they can colonize the Caribbean, because they're not too far away. It's either them or Macedon. They're likely to grab these islands. Georgia's almost completely locked down Japan, by the way, although they need to be careful. The Nubia might grab the southern part, because they got nothing else to do in the Korean Peninsula. Although they could be attacking the Congo right now, that is... Oh, they are attacking the Congo. Okay, never mind, they're distracted. And hey, maybe I was wrong. Look at Mongolia go. They got 5 cities, which is among the best. I mean, there's other places with 5. Actually, yeah, there's lots of places with 5 cities. And it's fine, Molly. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need 5 cities because you're pretty much safe, at least for another 100 turns. Just relax. Maybe go to New Zealand, though. You probably want to grab that. Wait, how is a sandstorm happening? This is ridiculous. I'm honestly trying to figure out the logic behind it, but I can't think of anything. I mean, I guess there are still beaches, right? Barely. Man, Mother Nature really doesn't like Brazil because they're not only dealing with that thing there in the Arabian Peninsula, but they might get hit by this hurricane. And who knows what else? There's probably lots more coming. Look at France expand. That's weird. They got this city, they got like Egypt and now Libya. I don't know what's going on with that, but okay. Germany also doing okay as well as they're grabbing a lot of the Balkan area, as well as America barely holding on with 3 cities. I'm surprised that Australia is still around too. The Ottomans in the heart of America are really making this work, surprisingly, but I don't know how much time they have left. They really need to get a coastline. That way at least they can find other people, hopefully make some friends. That would help their survival. Arabia looking better and better in the northern part of South America as they've grabbed, I think, a city from, or I don't know, from Macedon, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's mainly Samaria down here that's doing the best. The Maui is still going. They're grabbing islands, even if there aren't very many islands at their start, but you know they're gonna go after the South Pole. That's always what they do, and this is valuable territory. I really should have put my money on the Aztecs. It's a little late to make my own prediction. I always like to put my own prediction out there, but I probably would have picked the Aztecs. I love their spot here in India, and they don't really have to face too many scary neighbors. Indonesia is surprisingly doing pretty well too. I think they grabbed this Chinese city. That was China, right? And the Dutch are now taking out Russia. Russia's down to just one city, St. Petersburg. That is kind of amazing. Didn't think I'd see that. So we're starting to see the AI chop down a lot of trees just so they can put their unique tile improvement, because the computer loves to do that, and that is the main reason why this Earth is about to heat up. The fight for South Africa is probably the most entertaining we've seen in a really long time, because as I said, we're not used to this many people down here, although Hungary's looking good. They're also kind of jam-packed. They might be able to get an out here. They need to get a coastal city. That would help a lot. Canada seems a little bit out of their element, but they're making it work too. Tundra, grassland, forests, same thing, right? I would have thought the Congo would have one of the best games. I think if anything, they've got some forest bonuses or something like that, but they're down to 2 cities, and they might even lose this one. Who's about to take this? Probably the Zulu. That makes a lot of sense. And Korean Nubia is looking awesome. I like how they grabbed this part of their peninsula and then they moved around and they're making things work, taking out other cities. As we've seen before, this map is just full of units everywhere. Just waiting for my computer to crash at any moment. And the Caribbean have been split in half perfectly, but not by who I thought it was. This is actually Arabia that grabbed these 2 cities, so apparently Macedon not doing that well. Well, they do got a big old population city right here. 15 at turn 150, that is really good. The Dutch are pretty much playing a normal game. Like, they basically started off in their right location, and then they just took out France. So good for you guys. Except it was Russia in this world, but you know what I'm saying. Egypt's now colonizing Ireland, Iceland, and now Norway, and they might get to Sweden. How has no one got to Sweden yet? Well, there's not very many tiles, but still. Could we be looking at the fall of Brazil? They're definitely not looking that great. 3 cities, they lost this one. The French might grab that. Man, I'm really liking the French right now. They're doing good. Just look at North America. So many of the trees have been cut down. Well, it's depending on which civ you look at. So the Ottomans, for instance, they just chopped it all down. They're not leaving. They're leaving a little bit, whereas Persia, for the most part, and I don't know why, but they're keeping a lot of that stuff. There seems to be a drastic difference between Arabia and Samaria as well, kind of. I mean, there could be multiple reasons for this, but I'm just, yeah, looking at that stuff. Oh, you're in trouble now, Egypt. I didn't even realize that. Because the Dutch have control over the entire English Channel, they can just remove all the water. That's what they do. They just magically create land. I don't think the Egyptians are gonna be able to rely on their island to stay safe like the British in our universe did. They're gonna have to deal with a whole nother enemy. I have no idea how the Khmer grabbed the final Congo city. That was an amazing thing. Maybe they got open borders through Korean Nubia, but yeah, the Khmer are actually doing really well, just like they did last game. We also got the Aztecs and Mali splitting up Indonesia. So that is good, I guess. I mean, no one's really gonna be able to touch Mali, so they're safe. India, of course, grabbed Hawaii because they're not too far away. That was a pretty easy little adventure. They don't really have much else to do, I guess. I mean, there hasn't been very many border changes in North America for at least a couple hundred years. Even more tiles right now in the English Channel, so the Dutch might be getting ready for their own little Operation Sea Lion, right? Operation Sea Lion, is that what it was? Something like that. I am so surprised Scotland has actually retained this city. Like, that is amazing. Apparently, they must be on good terms with England, weirdly. And England's just kind of going further and further south. They might be distracted. America coming out of nowhere, and now they're a major player in Europe. Look at this. They've like parts of Russia, Poland, Germany, Denmark, and Sweden. So there's definitely gonna be a pretty big, I think, global conflict out of this continent. Haven't really been paying much attention to belief, but there's only 6, even though 7 can be discovered. I guess it must have been Arabia that decided, nah, we're just not gonna do any of that, since they automatically get the last profit. And sea level rise has clearly become slightly an issue, not too bad though. I mean, Korea's lost a couple tiles, but not, yeah, that's all right. Georgia has locked Japan down. They should be perfectly safe for the most part. Yeah, nothing too bad here. The Ottomans are still alive, but they didn't get an out. They will likely not win this game and probably not even survive. It's smart they building a bunch of forts, but yeah, India took some stuff over this way, and yeah, that makes them stronger. Oh God, here come the windmills. No, no, please. I wish the AI stopped spamming these. Yes, destroy them, please, Hurricane. Thank you so much. Weird to see all of these solar panels in a place that normally is just a bunch of desert. Like, the AI normally builds solar panels in the Sahara Desert, but not, I don't know, it just seems weird here. Canada, I'm disappointed. I thought you guys love nature. Look how many things they've chopped down just to put forests and everything. What's up with that? Oh, though you have a lot of population. The French continuing to fight through, and they have taken out Brazil. Brazil is officially dead. They need to worry about the Aztecs a little, but the Aztecs don't look as good as they once were. I mean, it's late game, so yeah, they don't normally do as well. Mongolia is pretty much officially dead, and they're getting taken out by Japan. Well, I had no idea this was Japan. These colors are strange. What happened here? All right, clearly Mali had to deal with a natural disaster because everything is just on fire. That'd be horrible for this world. Could you imagine all the trees catching on fire? Like early on, if there's a forest fire, everything burned down. South America is pretty much just between Samaria and Arabia. Macedon's still surviving with just 4 cities now. They've been at 4 cities though. Even though a lot of the trees have been cut down, it's still really weird to see like places like the Middle East and Africa so green. Like that is, it feels really wrong. Something feels off. Persia's got a couple rock bands going through the Atlantic Ocean or whatever they're calling it. Where are you guys doing your tour? To Roman Deep South? Roman Deep South sounds like a scary place. So it is now the 25th century, and it's nice to see that some trees have made it, just not very many. And there's also a lot of things on fire, so that could have been part of the reason why there's not much. Oh, and the Dutch got D-Day'd. That sucks. Didn't expect that. Oh, all of those tiles are gone. Don't know how. They might have melted away or something. Italian Germany did not do very good at all, and that was even without the African front. They didn't have to worry about that, but it's all good. They did find the best city of all. It's all that matters. America survives, but just barely, and also their capital just rebelled away, so that is unfortunate. For being in their position, France deserves a lot of credit for just surviving this whole time, even though, ouch, something really bad happened. North America is just a huge mess, and I don't know if places got nuked. Maybe that's what happens, because there's so much stuff on fire. It's like, I don't know. Really, it's hard to tell. I don't see any fallout. Rome got crushed at the end, which is unfortunate. The Ottomans managed to stay alive, which is amazing. Obviously, Macedon fell, and, well, they're not completely, but for the most part, Arabia's kind of still going. Wow, America got Cairo. That's pretty good. South America's been kind of obliterated too. The Mapuche. Where did the Mapuche come from? Did they get revived or something? Oh no, I'm stupid. Yeah, that's right. Mapuche are in South Africa. They ended up doing really well. And Hungary. Oh man, I was gonna put a lot of my money on Hungary for a second there because they were looking great in the heart of Africa. And now they're just down to 1 city. The Maui are looking pretty sexy for the most part. Did they get down here? They didn't. So they might have, but then Scotland could have grabbed it away. Wait, those, I don't know what these, maybe Scottish, I don't know. Mali, of course, ended up surviving because if you start off on Australia, you will be just fine. No, the Aztecs died. Oh man, there goes my pick. The Khmer also didn't do well. I don't even know who won this. Like, it seems like so many places, maybe Georgia, everyone's having obviously a tough time though. Indonesia looks like a big mess when they were looking all right for a second there. Maybe America? I don't know. We're gonna figure it out because I actually have the stats on. It wasn't domination only, just so that I can look at all of the aspects of winning. I don't think I've ever seen a map like this before where like everyone just looks like crap. Like no one looks amazing at all. After 1,000+ turns, we're like 1,200 turns into this game and everyone just sucks. Obviously, everything has been cut down and I thought that the global climate stuff would be a little bit worse than this, but who knows? Maybe this is hurricane damage. I don't know. Greenland is still slightly green though, so I guess that's good. Also, it's on fire. Gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in humans. Like, the world started off so beautiful, and now it's just hideous. It's just a disgusting mess. Religiously, the world is dominated by Buddhism, it looks like, starting from like Asia, getting into parts of Africa, then a lot of Catholicism in Europe, and Africa, well, Hinduism, a little pocket of that there too. Then there's Taoism in South America, actually Taoism in all of the New World. Okay, and then Georgia has some Protestantism, things like that. So Buddhism definitely won, but no one got a religious victory. Victoria technically has the most capitals, but that's not much at all. Four after 1,000 turns, that is nothing. No one came even close to a cultural victory, which isn't much of a surprise. I gotta say, this is one of the weirdest Civ 6 games I've ever seen. And by this point, pretty much everyone has made it to space, so it's kind of complicated. I guess anyone that didn't make it to space obviously didn't win here. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe everyone just left for space. I mean, we know they all built spacecraft and things like that, so maybe most humans are just out there exploring. They don't care about Earth anymore. Obviously, climate change has been pretty horrible, but that's expected. When you go long enough, it's always gonna get to this stage. So yeah, it's fine. I guess the best we could go off of, and I feel like I would agree, is England won. Victoria is producing the most science, and they have her in the #1 spot in this science victory, so maybe she made a spaceship first. She also still looks the thickest. I'm talking about her cities, by the way, just to clarify. Anyways, that was a weird one. Also, managed to stand this whole video, so that's good. I much rather stand. I hate sitting in the ugly chair. I think that looks terrible. But anyways, let me know which other biome we'd like me to explore. I don't even have to do a biome. I might just kind of mess with the map. I can obviously move continents and do things like that, put them in weird places, or just eliminate continents. I don't know, but it'd be pretty cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time. Big thanks to ElphieC, Eijah Senpai, Ruserification, SwissAargau, Maxy G, Bonny, Famme, Furry, Cruz, MisterPERKELE, CooterDonkey, BradenH, Alfonso M6, Millatime, Mega Fatboy 2.0, The Hentai Lover, Sleeper56, BirthdayDaddy, BallinLikeStalin, lolknight, Thank you.